Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in this world. Welcome to Be Victorious. Crazy Hair Don't Care. Happy Monday to you. I have an amazing guest today. We had so much fun preparing for this live to go live. And so I hope you're with us this morning or evening. If you're in Europe, it might be evening for you. But let me bring my guest back on the stage here. And to be with us and share with us his victorious story so that we can learn from the best. Hey, happy Monday. Stay with us and share this. Good morning.
Morning. How you
We
doing?
did it. Yay. We're here. We're live. We can see
Yes.
each other and hear each other and
It
get
was a
it.
jungle gym to get into this thing. I tell you, one thing after another went wrong.
You're so victorious, and it shows by the first thing on a Monday morning that you did to get on this show and to be my guest. And I'm so honored. Thank you for being here.
I'm
Hello,
honored.
Tom. How are you? How are you today?
I'm doing wonderful, It's such a pleasure to be able to finally talk to you on this. I've been watching you on all the other podcasts and going, you're fun. I want to talk to you. And then you reached out for me. I thought, let's do this then. That's obviously a sign. We got to do it.
We got to do it. And you got to share your story because you're so amazing. I can't wait to hear all about it. But tell me, how do we know each other?
How do we do what? I'm sorry?
How do we know each other? How did we meet?
I'm trying to think. Was it back on Clubhouse? Were you on Clubhouse back in the day? Back in the day. It was probably on Ken Wall's
yes,
show. Yeah.
the Girl Live Academy. When you
The Girl
came
Live Academy. That's it. Yeah.
I was so amazed to like being the same in the same room with you and just learning about you and what you do and oh my gosh, I was like, I'm so honored. Oh my God. So
I hope I can hold up to that. It's that wow.
Yes, you do.
I do things that I love to do. I don't want to go to the grave thinking I shoulda, woulda, coulda. I've seen too many people who get to a certain age and they go, man, I wished I had done that when I was younger. So I've always said, I want to do it. I just jump in and do it. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But my entire life, it's a blessing from God. It really is. My parents knew that I was going to be in radio at the age of 3 because I could not get enough of playing with the radio and introducing Elvis Presley or whomever, and I dated myself right there by saying 3 and Elvis Presley together. But I have just recently retired after 50 years in radio broadcasting.
Wow.
And I miss it already like a front tooth. It's like I'm missing something.
Stop it. Tell me how did you start the morning show? What was your line? Like, how do you come on and what did you say?
Oh gosh, they change every day. I don't know. I used to come up with something weird like hello, and I just go into it, just something to grab their attention. I don't know. I've never really thought about that. I don't like to be predictable in the way that I sign on because it's like, oh, there he is again. So I would change up things every day. I have no idea what I did. I have lots of air checks. I recorded a lot of my shows, but I never paid attention to the opening lines, I guess.
That's awesome. So I know you live in Dallas, right? You're in Texas now. Were you always there?
No, I was actually born in Memphis, Tennessee. And 2 weeks after I was born, we moved. Went to Key West, Florida, Charleston, South Carolina, Virginia Beach, Virginia, Washington, D.C., La Crosse, Wisconsin. Then I moved to Waterloo, Iowa, where I met my wife and had our 2 children. Then I moved to Wichita Falls, Texas, and on into Dallas. So radio is a very, very mobile business, but I have spent the last 34, 35 years in Dallas. I worked at a radio station, 100.3 Jams, which is a legendary, I don't want to call it a dance station. We used to call it a churban station, CHR, Contemporary Hit Radio, and urban. It was mixed together. It was dance formatted, but it wasn't a dance station. But we came in and just took over it, like it was in 1 year's time. And I went from there to ABC Radio Network and was there for 18 and a half years. And broadcast to around the world. I was on 588 radio stations. I spoke to the troops in Afghanistan that were fighting, and I have more flags that they sent me. They said, "Thank you. You were home to us." And I would come on and make them feel at home and keep them in the know of what was going on in America. And they would just fly this flag over Afghanistan, box it up, and send it over to me. I used to listen. There was a gal. She was the governor of. Oh gosh, I hope I get this right. The governor of Kentucky, I believe it was, and she was his personal chef. And she would every morning she'd tune me in. She was making all the meals. She had to make 2,000 meals in the day for guests and stuff coming over.
Wow.
She used to send me homemade baklava. Not baklava. Was it the toast you put in? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Toast you dip into coffee has chocolate on it. Anyway, she used to make these homemade things. Everybody's gonna please put it in the thing. What is that called? Not baklava. But anyway, she would send this to me, and I normally would not eat any of that stuff, but for her, I would. So
That's so awesome! Wow. I have a question regarding the radio. So did you have to go in the studio, and be in the studio, right? So my question is, do radio people get up and dance during a song?
Do I what?
Do radio people get up and dance in the studio during songs?
I never sit down. I am a dancer. Absolutely. And the more that I dance, and I'm also a wedding DJ and an officiant now. And I usually tell the crowds that I'm broadcasting or I'm performing for, if you see me start to dance behind my equipment stuff, you know that I've got the chemistry, we've got the connection between the audience and me. And the more I dance, the more it brings them up. And the more they come up, the more I go up. And so basically it's a physical thing, even though it's an auditory thing.
Yeah.
So I'm playing the music, I connect with them, and then I start dancing because when I tell the bride and groom, when you see me dancing, there's the connection. Don't worry, I got this. And usually it's probably within the first two songs because I'm pretty well known for the first song, and they hit the dance floor. So
That's
and
so
you went
cool.
this last Friday. This Friday, in fact, we ended up going 2 hours longer because they did not want to stop. It's like, let's go. So
We keep going. When did you start doing weddings? Was it hand in hand with the radio?
I'm sorry, you get some scratching on your voice here again. And it's
I don't know what's going on.
It's my connection. I don't know. Hopefully, it's nobody else is hearing that. Okay, ask that show one more time. Now clear it up.
The weddings and the radio were always hand in hand.
Actually, it is kind of hand in hand because in radio, I guess I learned to talk to people I don't see, and it's an added pleasure when you get to see them. And so going live and doing it in front of them, I already know the music. I made most of the hits from when, if they want oldies, I started in 1972. I was 17 years old and got into radio at that age. And so I just had, ever since that, I've always, I love music. I don't know. And I find the music that will get them motivated. I usually tell the bride and groom at the end of the dinner, I already know where we're going to go. If you want, let's say, you want Texas country, I'm sorry, if you want country, you don't know what Texas country is, it's a regional thing, but you want country music, but I'm watching your guests and they want 90s hip hop. We're going to go mainly 90s hip hop for the night because my job is to get your guests on the dance floor. So you're out running around and you're talking to all the people that are there for your wedding. And you look back to the dance floor and the dance floor is just hopping with people excited. They go, you just play what you play because I've connected with it. My job is to get them on the dance floor. If it's using different music, I do that. They then understand that, oh, well, I guess the country isn't their flavor. So, and if it is, then we continue. But otherwise, I go to where they go and I get them onto the dance floor. So it's also in that way. So it's a lot of It's I always thought I figured out the science behind weddings, how to make them very successful. 99.9% of the time, I hit them right on the mark. It's all over the place.
Scott says he could never made it as a DJ because he has two left feet when it comes to dancing. Oh, Scott, you gotta feel the beat, right? You just gotta feel the beat.
Yeah, dancing with the stars next to you a lot.
We have a little hard time hearing you. It's so robotic. I don't know what it is that we can do now.
I'm gonna have to take this back in the house or something here. Okay. It just cleared up here on this side. Clear for you.
Okay, let's keep trying. Let's keep going. We gotta be victorious. I wanna talk about your transition from, or was it a transition, or there was a moment where the radio and merged with the firefighter position. You're also
I'm a firefighter as well. Yeah. And I used to be a sheriff's deputy.
How did you do that?
Why? Because I live a life of, I don't want to go to the grave, woulda, shoulda, coulda. I don't ever want that. If I want something, I jump on it. My wife just drives her nuts because, what are you doing now? But I'll tackle things now while I still can. Recently went through, emergency spinal neck surgery. So there's a lot of things I can't do anymore. Lifting is one thing I can't do until probably October of this year. They said before I'm going to have any strength. But I always do what I want because I don't want to go through life wishing I had done something. So I've got this background that's unbelievable. And people say, you got to write a book. So I've started a book, finally.
Wow.
About all the people that I've met and have been inspired by. And it starts off with a chapter, I was inspired by God, literally. Yeah. And I'm a firm believer that every soul on this earth, when you're conceived, God puts something in your heart. It's your passion. But you have no idea what that is until you get older. And then I always say, then when you get old enough to think, shut up and listen, because you will find out what your gift is. Mine is music. I can't get enough music. And I knew that I'm not a musician, so I got into radio because if I can't play it, I'll support people who can. That's what I did. And radio has gotten me to meet greats like Dolly Parton. Like, I was there the day that Bon Jovi went from an opening act to headliner in the nation. I did an autograph party with them in a jewelry store of all places. And we had 2,000 youth come by this jewelry store to get autographs. I met James Brown. I met presidents.
Wow.
Senator John McCain.
The sound is still not okay, Jay. It's still like you sound like a robot.
Okay. I think I'm gonna try and walk this back into the house. Is that okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Sound, I want this to be right.
It's yeah. We're having a little hard time hearing you.
Okay. Let me go back in the house and see.
I think maybe will work. I'm sorry. I'm making you like turn. It was so great before we went live, and I could hear you just fine. And I don't know. There's something.
Okay. There. Cleaned up on this side. Okay. Nope. Can't hear it.
I can hear you. You just sound like an alien. You know how?
Yeah.
There's something. Where's the studio? We should go. We should go in the studio.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So you got to meet presidents and amazing people. Okay. There's something in the phone or something scratchy. Can you hear that sound or no?
Yeah. Crackling. There, now it's gone.
The noise is gone. Okay.
Oh, now it's back. Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll show you some of the people that I've had the pleasure of working with.
Okay.
Let's flip this. I'll flip this around now. Okay. So I do this here. Start off with Donny Osmond. Donny Osmond.
Wow. That's so cool.
Michael, got a platinum record.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Wow. That's awesome.
Bon Jovi. There's the group. Bon Jovi. I can't see the picture now.
Wow. Wow.
There's Janet Jackson.
Oh, my favorite.
Alice Cooper. Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys.
Wow, Jay, this is so awesome.
I worked with Wolfman Jack 3 times.
Wow.
Oh, my claim to I love this one. This is.
Wow.
I went to grand opening of the Georgia Music Hall of Fame and was able to meet Little Richard. And
wow.
He was unbelievable. But, I mean,
Yes.
there's a lot of that.
Try to set the phone somewhere. So maybe if it's not moving, then there's. Okay. Let's chat. So tell me. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you now. But
Okay.
I'm still hearing Scott.
I know. Scott said, can we go back and look at the Janet Jackson one again? I know, she's one of my favorites.
Yeah, should I jump out and try and get back in, get a better signal, you think? The opening again, play the opening, and just everybody will play along with us.
I think we're gonna be okay. I wanna ask you. You mentioned something about a surgery. What surgery? What was the surgery? Tell us about your medical journey.
Okay. I went to a point where I was losing my memory, and I started getting vertigo daily, and lack of balance and stuff. And I went to the doctor to have him look, and they took an X-ray or MRI of my neck, and the doctor comes back in. He says, "If I can get you into the operating room in the next hour, I would. It's that important." He says, "Do not turn your head real fast or pick up anything until the surgery, because there are 3 discs that are pressing against your spine, and it will sever them if I do something wrong." And so 3 days later, we got into a really great hospital in the Dallas area, and they did the surgery. He said they were normally going to go through the front of my neck to get to the vertebrae that was the problem. He said, but it would probably destroy your vocal cords or something. I would know that's my career.
Oh my God.
So he thought, I'm going to go through the back then. He says, but it is the most painful surgery you can go through. And I said, I've had many surgeries, no problem. He was right, I was wrong. It was the most, and my poor wife had to live with me. Whiny husband, right? And it was absolutely the most painful. But with her help and stuff, and a great recliner that my future son-in-law brought over. I was rested for 4 months, or 3 months, was it? 3 months? Yeah, 3 months sitting on the side trying to heal before I could go back to work. And but yeah, I'm doing better now. I'm still walking with a cane because I'm now going through, I guess, all the same reactions, same symptoms, but backwards, as it's now the spine that was being pressed is now decompressing, so it's coming back full, and so I'm experiencing all those different symptoms all over again. That's the way I look at it. I don't know, and maybe you're wrong. He says, no, that's permanent.
You always have such a positive mindset, and you look at whatever happens with the positive, and you always think, okay, this will pass, even though you've had so many surgeries. Wow, you're amazing.
Got to be positive about whatever. I have my negative days. Ask my wife. I'm sure.
We all do.
I'm a broadcaster. Everything's dramatic, right? But yeah, it's been an adventure. not just an experience, but an absolute adventure. Uh, and I'm getting stronger every day. I'm getting out and driving and doing things again. And now I'm starting to do weddings again. I'm officiating weddings and stuff. So that's good. So my life is getting a lot better. And my baby takes care of me real well. So
Good. And also, my seat just has this sound.
yeah.
No, it's not my microphone because I switched it. You also started going back to being a firefighter, you said?
Yeah, I'm back with the fire department. Yeah.
How? You just had neck surgery.
So it's more of a desk job. Okay. I'm going to oversee the public affairs, the pub ed. We're going to educate. For a long time, I was a firefighter clown, which was, we were doing skits for elementary school students. Well, they're growing up looking at cartoons, and that's what their world is, cartoons. So we go in as clowns, the good kind of clowns, by the way, and we are basically live cartoons. And I would tell her to animate as much as you can on stage. And so you're doing everything in cartoon fashion. And we got national attention. We got the Texas State Fire Marshal gave us a huge plaque of, for excellence in education. Our local school gave us a Gold Apple Award for excellence in education. So I'm doing all that again. Now I'm heading that up and trying to get the team back up together and see if I can teach these other younger firefighters how to do what we did. Because I don't want to say we were legendary, but we were pretty legendary. And they just honored us with a beautiful. Where did I just put that thing? Oh, it's over there. They just gave.
You're not supposed to
they honored us with a banner that they had created with my partner and I as clowns, and they surprised us at this big conference that we created years ago. What they're now doing, and they honored us with this banner saying the OGs, the original gangsters, and firefighting clowning, and what an honor it was because they took us seriously. Yes, it's a goofball thing, and a lot of firefighters go, "I'm not going to do that. That's makeup." No, you got to do what is uncomfortable sometimes to get the absolute miracle, and we touched a lot of lives, and we're very proud of that. So I'm back into that because I thoroughly love doing that. With the encouragement of my wife, I always said, "No, I'm going to stop, blah, blah, blah." And I quit. And she says, "No, you guys were good." And that touched my heart. Even my wife says, "No, you guys are good." And we have magic between the two of us. And so we're back.
When the wife says you're good, it's true.
Yeah, I'll take you're good for my wife anytime.
Yes, yes.
You do things to appease your wife or make her happy or impress her or whatever, and you want that positive impact or influence coming back at you because it just encourages you and says, "Yeah, I guess I am doing something right." So
you're doing a lot of things. You're doing a lot of things. I just love how you keep going and how you keep discovering and how you just your passion for doing things not only for yourself but for others, and it's just so awesome to see that and to hear that.
Passionate is a good word because I'm absolutely passionate. Whatever I do, it's with full passion. I can't get enough of it. Are you going to rebroadcast this where I can see all these? Because I'm on my phone, I can't see all these.
Yes. This is gonna be on. We're live on YouTube. We're live on my Victoria's page and on my personal page. So being friends, you can see it anytime.
Super good because I want to come back and see
Yes.
what Twitter be saying. Says because again, I'm passionate about what impression we're making on people and things like that. So.
Speaking of people, if we have somebody that's watching us that had a neck surgery or anything, what would you tell them to help them keep going like you do?
I'm sorry. Why don't I tell them what?
What would you tell them to keep going like you do?
Just keep a positive attitude. It's gonna hurt, but it's not gonna kill you. At least knock on wood. It shouldn't. You got qualified surgeons, but yeah, just keep moving forward and do what the doctors say. Do what the physical therapists say. Do what your wife tells you to do too. And take your medicine. It's a phrase I hear all the time. Take your medicine. Do that because I have seen leaps and bounds in just a matter of weeks. What I'm able to do now. So yeah, you do what they tell you because they are smart. So that's the main thing. It is very uncomfortable, but it's absolutely worth it because the alternative of losing my voice completely or having a destroyed voice, and I may not be in radio anymore, but I'm trying to do a lot of commercial voiceovers, and that's where the money is. So, and weddings and being an officiant where I
Yes.
marry people. I don't want to, hey everybody, it's Wolfman Jack. I got to come in there with a good voice. And generally when I do a wedding ceremony, they'll come back, I can understand every word you said. Well, yes.
Good, you should, right?
That's right.
You should. Take me back to the baby J at 3 years old doing radio.
Wow, yeah. Well, my mom and dad said they knew at 3 years old I was going to be in radio because I would play with the radio and the device itself until I heard Elvis Presley singing, and I would stop and I would introduce Elvis Presley and play the song. And the whole time as I was growing up, my playtime was going in my room and listening to the radio and listening. And then when I was out playing, I was playing like I was a DJ. That I knew what I was doing. And finally, at 17, I was a sophomore in high school. Got my first radio job, and just in January here, I retired. That made it 50 years, and so I'm pretty proud of that. Pretty pleased. But yeah, that is my entire life. I've just been a radio person with a passion.
Have you ever thought about going into maybe performing, singing, or is it just radio, just music in general to play for others?
A lot of people say, with that voice, you should be a great singer. I said, well, I sing a lot of sad songs, whether they're up tempo or not. They're sad, I promise you. No, I don't. I used to sing. I just stopped. I had a co-worker, a co-host of mine. She used to say, "Oh, please don't sing. You are so bad," and it affected me. And I never knew if she was joking or what, but it intimidated me, and I gave up singing. I go to church and sing. That's the only time because for the crowd.
I wish you wouldn't have done that to you.
Well, we've all got to have a flaw somewhere.
Yeah.
Singing
Now,
my flaw.
so if you were to to go back and think about everything, life in general, and you want to talk to, let's say, a young individual who wants to start a radio career, what would you tell them?
It's no longer what it used to be. It used to be a blast. It was absolute personality. It was go on and just have a ball. And if I got to ABC Radio Network, and their advice was, they have two rules: you have fun at any cost, and don't forget to play the commercials. That was it, and that really springboarded things for me. And because I got to be back into my personality, radio personality. I mean, I worked, like I said, I worked with Wolfman Jack. I worked with, my fan, the person, one DJ that I cut my teeth on was John Rickards Landecker, WLS in Chicago. And I listened to everything and to how it's one thing to be in radio, but it's another. What do you do on the air? What do you do as a radio announcer? And that's what I learned from them. And creativity is utmost, the most. That's the one thing that's missing in radio today: the creativity. They just get on and talk about nothing. And we make full images, you do stories and stuff like that, and you deliver a message. It's like a parable. You deliver a message through a story, and when it's done, it impacts people. We used to do a thing I called Heartstring Thursdays, and we would tug at your heartstrings every Thursday at 7:30, and I would read a story. Basically, the like what is it called? Soup for Your Soul, that those books,
Yeah.
what's that? Chicken Soup for the Soul. Yeah, my
Yes.
wife. She's my file cabinet. But I would do stories, and these women would call right after I was telling the story, and they'd be crying. They go, "I know on Thursday mornings I should never put on makeup before you're off the air," because I would make them cry, and it was just heartwarming stories and things about empowerment and doing life correctly or with pizzazz and character.
Nice.
And it inspired a lot of people, and that just really touched me. And I'm a firm believer. You touch someone's heart once, you have them for life, because you get that trust. And it's okay, I can do another story, and I know that you're already open. You know what you're going to be doing is at the end of this story is crying, or sometimes just laughing. But most of them were very heartwarming, and so they knew that, and they trusted me. And so I would not take them on this bizarre trip about nothing. There was a landing pad at the end of this thing, so they would come back down with their Kleenex and go to work and pick up the phone and yell at me. You did it again.
Oh no.
I love to touch people, personally. I like to touch their heart and their mind.
So what's next? Where's Jay Fox going?
What am I doing now? I'm like I said, I'm back with the fire department, so I'm going to do public education for the youth again. I'm working on voiceovers for national clients. I'm trying to make my family happy, keep them happy.
And make us happy by being in our life and coming live and be victorious so that we can learn from you how to be victorious.
I reached the pinnacle. I don't have to do anything now. I'm betting on Victoria's show. It's like life is good.
Okay. Yes. I'm so glad you recovered from the surgery. It was so scary. When we were in the academy call and we saw you with the thing and you were not, and everything you said was just so frightening, so scary. Oh, I'm glad you're.
Put it back on. So
I'm glad you're out of that. Yes.
Yes, me too. Because it's that.
Well, there's a comment. I'm going to read it to you so that we can talk about it. He said, when I was growing up, I used to listen to our friend Scotty McCain all the time when he was a DJ.
Really? That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, it's when you have friends in the business, and then you know them on side of radio, and then you hear them on the radio. You can tell they're different because you're acting basically. And I've had people say, "Just be you." Well, this is kind of me. This is the other side of me. And I mean, it's the same thing with acting. You go on stage and you play a character. Well, I'm a character on the radio. It was. And,
yes.
I became very, very fascinated and addicted to the sound of the Beatles when I was young. I loved them. And I did 2, 3 major Beatle things on ABC Network. I used to do a weekly show called Beatle Archives. I used to do Fab Four Fridays. And then I had to edit and create the opening montage for Beatles 95, which was the radio broadcast, which welcomed in the release of Beatles Anthology. The Sunday, they broadcast the first episode on Friday, and on Saturday, which was my birthday, Paul McCartney called the studio, and I think I'm the only one in the world that's got him on tape saying that the Beatles used to make it a game in the Beatles days of putting clues in their music, which just blew me away that he would say something like that. And because they were always people saying, "Oh, it's the Beatles songs that have all the backmasking and all this stuff." Yeah, they did, but they did it as fun. And Charles Manson took it seriously. And if they had admitted that they did clues in their music, it would give them credibility to him, make them accessories to the crime, but limitations. Now it's expired, so now they can talk about it. No, he was hearing things, but not what they were putting in there. Yeah, they put clues in their music, but nothing like that. And I wrote the foreword to a book called Walrus Was Paul, The Great Beatle Death Clues of 1969. Gary Patterson wrote a book. He's out of Nashville, Tennessee. And he was an avid listener to my show. And he says, "You do a lot of the Beatles." And he was telling me where he wanted to send me this book. So he sent me this rough draft of it, and he said, I love this thing. He said, would you write the forward to it? Oh, you bet I will. And so I did
Wow.
that in the book as well. But, I mean, these are the opportunities. It's not necessarily ego food. It's like, these are opportunities. These are adventures that I was able to take on my journey down this road of broadcasting.
What would you tell somebody? You took all these opportunities. You had opportunities come to you and you went for them because you always had a victorious mindset. But there's people out there that will not, they're afraid, or there's something's holding them back from going for an opportunity that comes their way. How do we help these people understand that in order to make something happen, you have to take the leap of faith, you have to make the first step so that the universe can reward you, right? How do we help them?
First
What do
thing,
we,
first thing you can do is change this to this. It
okay?
makes you approachable. People walk up to people who smile a lot, and I do. I smile all the time. People say, "There's that smile again," but that has gotten me through so much. People say, "Oh, you're just such a pleasant person." Why? This. They don't know me, but they think they do. And again, a smile is the first door you open, and then figure out what it is that you like, what your gift is. Shut up and listen, because he will tell you, and find out what your gift is, and then don't let anything get in front of you. Just keep going, barreling down that road, because it actually works. I'm proof positive. I started college and made it to college and did just under a full year, but I was learning radio broadcasting. They were teaching Marconi discovered the radio. I thought, I don't care who discovered it. My listeners don't care. They just want to know. I want to know not who did this and why it's on the air, but I want to know what to do on the air and how to be a DJ. And because I had already studied, I guess, just by reading everything I could, and so my big passion was to learn how to be the actor, I guess. And I took drama and voice and diction and all that stuff and all that kind of stuff. I took voice and diction and English and mastered our language. And then I could go on the air and a lot like everybody else because I'm only human. No, it's just I found out what my blessing was, what my drive is, what I'm passionate about. Because everybody's got a passion that's just here. What is it? When you find out what that is, just look out. I'm coming through, and just keep moving towards that. And don't let anybody tell you you can't. My first boss, I was on the air. I was, like I said, 17, and I had to read the news every 30 minutes. I'm still in high school. Come on. I was a stutterer and stammerer, and I did not like to read out loud at all. And they came in and said, "Oh, by the way, you read the news live on the air every 30 minutes." And the guy on the opposing station will bring over the news to me about 10:29. I got 1 minute to look at this news, but I would read it cold. And it would be today in the news. We would and it's just horrible. Well, the programmer, the boss, general manager, slams the door open. And he just says, "You suck. You're going nowhere in this business."
No.
And I could have been crushed. I was, and then I thought, no, I'm gonna. That's my impetus to keep moving forward. There's my passion. I'm gonna prove you that I am in the right. This is what I want to do. Don't tell me I can't. And I proved him wrong. And so I started sending him thank you cards when I went to a station real nearby, and we went to number one, and we're the number one station. I sent him thank you cards for his inspiration. Then I made it to Dallas. I'm in major market. Thank you. And made it to ABC. Thank you. And I use his lack of
Believe,
technique.
support.
Yes. And I would use that to keep pushing me. I will show everybody I can that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And I'm just passionate about music. I just always have music on, except when I'm on the radio with Teodora here. I'm sorry.
You're so amazing. We should play some music. We should have some music. You're so amazing. I think I'm the same. If there's no music playing while I'm cooking or while I'm downstairs in my house, it's just too quiet. It's like You gotta move. You gotta feel the beat.
Because
You gotta,
music touches your soul,
yes.
and that's where the term soul music came from. It's a very cool groove that you just want to feel. And all music is like that. It just touches different people. Heavy metal touches people differently. And then you got soul music, you got rock and roll, and you got romantic music, and you name it, it's going to touch somebody. It touches our inner being,
Yes.
and that's what I use. So that's my secret word.
Have you played any Romanian music yet?
Any what?
Romanian music. I was born in Romania.
I got a Czechoslovakian wedding coming up here. It's
No.
the second time actually, and I did Romanian. I bet it's been 10 years or so, but yes, I have.
What?
I absolutely, yeah. And then let's say you're the bride, and I'm going to say, tell me the music that touches you. I don't have to understand a word in it, but I get you to empower me, get the best music that you want played at your wedding. I'll play it wherever. It doesn't. I don't have to understand it. You have to understand it. So,
That's so cool.
here's my business card. You can just see. Actually, I have a QR code.
Did
And
it's
that's
so
my.
cool. Yes. Awesome. Did you like the Romanian music?
Do I like
The
like it?
Romanian music?
Oh, yeah. There isn't a whole lot of music I don't like. I love all kinds of music. But,
It's so different. I think it's so different. Every time I play Romanian music, people are like, "How do you sit down on that beat?" You can't sit down.
that's the same thing as this Czechoslovakian wedding that I've got coming up. I did their wedding when the pandemic first hit. They had like 200 guests that were going to fly over from Czechoslovakia. Well, the pandemic hit, they couldn't, so I went into this people's house and we did the ceremony. We broadcast it via Zoom, I believe it was, to Czechoslovakia in the middle of the night. They were watching everything. And now, I believe it's next month, they're flying all 200 guests over here, and we're going to do the full thing all over again.
That's so cool.
So we're going to be playing Czechoslovakian music again.
That's exciting. I want. Where can people find you? Is it J Fox Productions?
My Facebook is J Fox Rocks.
Okay. Is that the best way to get in touch with you? What's the best?
You can't hear me anymore because I've retired from radio, but I do mixes and stuff. I'll put it on there. I'm on Mixcloud. I've got one or two mixes that I can now put up there. But it's that or else jfoxproductions.com.
Okay. I wanna scroll that on. Here you go. I want to make sure that I'm spelling this right. I can't hear you. Oh no. What did you do? We can't hear you. You did something. Did you get a phone call? Jay, this is such a victorious moment because you did something again and we can't hear you. We lost Jay. That's okay. I'm sure he will come back to us because we're victorious and he's going to prove us that anything that happens, we're going to get through. And we are going to come up on the other side victorious, right? jfoxproductions.com is where we can find Jay.
Can you hear me? There I am.
Yes. And I think I was just telling our audience that I think this is such a victorious moment because we prove again that against technology and issues and lack of connection and all that and microphone and camera issues, we're still victorious. We're still here. We're still doing it.
And that's your qualification as a professional. I always say a professional is you give them anything, do your show. We have a brand new studio, and a professional will make it happen. It's not what you do, it's how you deal with bad things that happen, things that
It's
go
how you
wrong.
do. And I can hear you so much better. So is this your jfoxproductions.com is your website?
Correct.
This
Correct.
is where people can hear you, can
No.
reach out, not hear you, reach out to you
Correct.
and learn about what you do and hire you, right? If I get, you're so funny. If I ever get married, you're going to have to not only be the officiant of my marriage, but you also have to DJ my marriage and my wedding. And
I'd love to. I'd
yeah,
love to. Yeah.
I will just come get married in Dallas.
No, I go all over the nation. I'll
You
go
do?
anywhere. Yeah, yeah. I'm hungry. I like money. I'll I'll go anywhere to dig it up.
You'll come to Denver. Have you been to
Oh,
Denver?
I love Denver. Yes.
Well, make sure next time you come to Denver, you let me know so that we can party and play music and you can DJ at my house.
There you go. There you go.
I hear you so much better. This is
Oh,
so awesome.
we'll start all over then.
We'll start all over again. I'm just so amazed. I'm honestly so amazed at your the way you come out of things and having all these surgeries and keep going. And I honestly like that is amazing.
It's
You know,
just,
people would give up to have 20 surgeries and painful ones. How
that was pain was over the top on that one. But I don't know. I got a great support. My wife is just very supportive. She really helps me through things like that. She knows what my weaknesses are, my bad habits are, and stuff. And she guides me down the right road. And it's just that it helps an awful lot to have a good partner like that. So
yes.
I love her. The
Yeah,
fact that she's in the room and can hear me,
even better. Did you
I
dance?
love her this much.
You're so funny. Did you dance while you were recovering? Did music help you get through?
Music helps me. I don't think I did any dancing.
You're not supposed to. I'm
No.
so glad that you're a good listener because I know some men that are just not good listeners. They don't like to.
I'm stubborn, but I'm not stupid.
You're
But I knew that I could not handle dancing. I could barely handle walking. And I'm now graduated to I have a cane to help me keep my balance as I get better and better. But I'm learning to walk without it, in fact. And so it's bit by bit. It's getting better. The thing is, the old phrase again: God doesn't give you something that you can't handle, and that's the phrase that goes through my brain all the time. It's I can do this. I can do this. He's walking me through this. So
It's so funny you say that. I was complaining about God giving me too much this morning to a very good dear friend of mine, and I was like, "Can God just take some off of my shoulders? Can God just enough? Like, can I just?"
don't ask him. Just thank him. Just I just learned this recently. Don't say, God, give me this. God, I really wish you would help me with blah, blah, blah. Just thank him for everything he does already. And thank you. I know that you have something in your mind that's going to get me through this. Thank you for that.
Make me cry.
No.
And you're not even on the radio. You're on the show and you're going to make me cry.
Oh, this was not Heartstrings Thursday. Come on.
Yes. Joy. Scott says, amen, Jay.
Hey, there you go.
Yes. I know there's just sometimes it's hard to remember everything and it's hard to when you're and I went through and I still go through a lot of stuff and I feel like the tornado, sometimes it just twists and twists and then I see the light. I know it's out there, but when you're in it and you've been through this, it just keeps going. It just keeps going and sometimes it's twisting to where it's just
it gets going so fast you can't keep up with it.
It takes a moment.
Clutter, yeah, and it's hard to get through that. That's where you need to stop, listen, and just calm down. And you can do it. Breathing.
Stop and get out of the country. I
Well,
will.
I, for one, am very glad you're in this country. I've been
Thank you.
admiring your skills and watching you improve over the past, what, 2, 3 years that I've known of you. And it's been interesting to watch you grow. And I'm just so proud of you that you started up this podcast thing, and then I get to be on it. So,
Yes. And I started it because I want people to understand, and I named it Be Victorious with Theodora because so many people tell me all the time, "Oh my gosh, you're so amazing. You're so powerful. So I started the show because I want to help other people see the power that they have inside,
mm-hmm.
and what's the best way that I can keep talking about it. But people are going to be like, "Okay, Theodora, enough." But sharing your story, coming to the house of others, with sharing with you, bring you to their home,
Mm-hmm.
to their mind, to their brain, to their ears and their heart.
Yes.
People are gonna, it takes, yes, in their heart, it will take a minute to keep hearing it over and over again, but then it's just gonna be like, oh my God. Just like it was for me, it take one person to say, "Oh my God."
Mm-hmm. It's
So
just, and that's the thing. You've got so many different voices, so many things that are going on in our world. It's hard to hear. It's just talk, 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 and all this clutter. I often say that it's impossible in our society to go 24 hours without hearing music. It's impossible. I went on a ride to the desert with my best friend, and he hummed the entire way. It's like, okay, there's music, but I mean, it's whatever you want, it's out there. And you just have to figure out what it is that you really want to do, and you focus on that. And when you start being the true you by doing your passion, people come to you.
yes.
I don't advertise my business. It's there, and word of mouth gets me all these. I also want to say, if you want more on my life story, and when I came out of this thing, my wife joked with me. She says, "You're gonna have to write your eulogy because I don't know all the people you've met," in which we take as funny, but it's time in life where we got to start thinking of those things. So I made the J Fox Rocks on Facebook page, and of course everybody else is now chiming in. But in there are most everybody, a lot of people that I've met, and the stories that I have about them, and how they influenced me, and how they touch my lives. And if you focus on how people touch your life, it's easier for you to touch other people's lives. You start to understand it, and you go, "That's the real story. How did they touch me?" You turn right around, and you can, relate that to other people.
And give it to others.
Absolutely. Pass it on. Pass it on. I always, and I've said this, and I know you've heard me say this one, Theodore, that my version of the ladder of success is that you crawl up that ladder of success, reaching up to people who know more about whatever it is, your topic. You learn from them, but never forget to turn around and help other people up that ladder, because now you're up the ladder, and that's the ladder of success. And it just keeps going circular. And so you touch people's hearts once, you got them for life.
Yes. And you help. Oh my gosh. Oh, you're so powerful. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
It's so true.
Yeah, and I've learned that through living.
Life.
It's just that's what we did with the fire department, with the clowns and stuff. We touch people's hearts, and they don't even realize we're making them laugh, but we're touching them. And I get people who are now, like I said, in college. I remember when you came to our elementary school. Oh, please don't say it that way. But when kids were in elementary school, they don't remember the days because everyone's the same. It's the teacher, it's the students. They don't remember particular days. They always will remember the day the clowns came to their school, because it's so impactful. And it we taught them, we entertained them, and we made friends with them. And so I get people walking me at a grocery store, and they look up and they'll say, "Are you Radio?" Because that was my clown name was Radio. And I go, "Yes, but that's our secret." And, he's a college student,
Yes.
but I play that character, and that brings them back to that moment and makes it real. And there are certain ways you just touch people's hearts. That's the only mission we all have. Just
Who
touch
inspired you, Jay? Who kept you going? Who's that power light that you're
Well, the first one who really changed my life, my wife and I had the pleasure of meeting Red Skelton. I don't know if you remember, if you're old enough to remember who Red Skelton was. He was a great comedian, and we sat down for an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that, and just listening to his story. And he completely changed my life that day. And I've always remembered that and always been so appreciative. I mean, a lot of people have touched me, you know. Yes, Robert.
Yes.
Yeah, Red Skelton was phenomenal, and what a kind heart. He told us a story how he would wake up at about 4 a.m. every day. He would let his wife sleep. He would go downstairs and he would write a short story that would go into his fan club's books. He would make a painting, which he would sell to his fans. Oh no, very first thing he did when he got up was he wrote his wife a love note every single day of their marriage. And then he would, do the paintings and do several things. Finally, about 7 o'clock, he would make breakfast, go wake his wife up, bring him down. They would have breakfast together. They would start their day off. And so he really changed my life. So now I stay up all night. But I became a romantic, I think, because I think I was romantic before then. She's sitting here looking at me like you were long before that.
What did your wife say?
She just giggled. She just giggled. I was hopeless romantic, I say, and I courted her strong. I knew the first moment I saw her, that's my future wife. We met, in fact. I'm going to tell this story. Is it okay that I tell this one? Okay.
You're so amazing.
I was sitting across the road from her at my friend's house. She was in her backyard sunbathing. We were watching he was watching a game on television. I was looking out the window, and I mentioned to him, I said, I want to date her. Oh my gosh, I've got to go on a date with her. And so he set up a blind date. She hates blind dates. So do I. And he set up this blind date, which just started the whole thing off wrong, But we went out on our first date, and I got her home by 7 o'clock. And her roommate comes running. What did you do to him? Why are you home so early? Well, because this guy gets up at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning to go do his radio show. So that's late night for me. And then I just started courting her. And one day I filled up her entire mailbox with cards, love notes, and things like that. Just I guess the postman was just laughing because he was jamming these cards in. Here's the box, and it's full up to the top, and he's sliding them in, so it's starting to stack.
And she took you serious then?
Not yet, but I had about. I asked her. I went home after our first date. I went home to see my folks. Came back 2 weeks later. Asked her to marry me. She says, "I'm not going to say yes, but I'm not going to say no."
2 weeks.
2 weeks. I knew that fast that this was going to be my wife. And I came back and I started romancing her at that point, and I won. And
why do people not do that anymore?
Because chivalry is dead, and I refuse to let it die. But I don't know, because for me it's a blast being able to express my passion for her, my love for her, and do it that way. And it was
don't romance anymore, and it's sad.
That's right. I was broadcasting in Iowa at that time. We had a horrendous blizzard come through, and I'm on the radio, and I knew what time she wakes up, and I knew what time she was absolutely going to listen, because at this one point in the time every day I said something or I played a song, and she knew it was for her. And
that's so
at that moment she had a red car. She's going to kill me. She had a red car, beautiful little car. And I said, wouldn't it be great? It was a horrible snowstorm last night. We got, a foot of snow, something like that. I said, wouldn't it be great? You got to go to work, and you go out to your car, and it's completely already brushed off of all the snow. I said, that would be so perfect. Somebody obviously really loves you for that. Anyway, she opens up the window, looks down. Her car is spotless, white, completely everywhere else.
You're one of a kind, Jay. You're
I'm an idiot. Yeah.
you gotta speak about this so that more people can hear and do that, because if they want something, they got to learn that what you need to do is the right thing to
You
show
got to
your love
do
and
it.
appreciation, right?
Exactly. You can't just imagine romance. You have to be romantic. You
Yes.
know, because imagination is in your head. Unless you share it, it's no good. It's a wasted emotion.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Jay, you're amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here with me. This is a perfect example of victorious attitude, victorious life, victorious career, victorious man in family life, in everything. And thank you for teaching me to smile,
There you go.
that I can bring victorious more often in my life, in everything that I do, in everything that surrounds me, and not about me, but about others. Because other people see my smile. I might not see it all the time, but this is for others, right?
You just stand there and smile, and people will walk up to you and start a conversation. And it's happened at airports when I'm flying around the nation and stuff. I'll just sit there. I'm just a natural smiler. In fact, my chief, the fire department, one time says, "Quit smiling. This is tragedy for somebody's house." Oh, I'm sorry.
You got
You got those little wake up moments every so often too, don't you?
Yes, Scott, thank you. Scott says thank you, Theodora and Jay, for this amazing interview.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Jay, for being here. Scott, thank you for sharing our interview. Thank you for being Jay's friend. He was so excited to hear our interview this morning, and I was so excited to have you. And just everything that you do, it's just victorious, and it's a perfect model for my show and for other people.
Well, Victoria, thank you so much. Theodora, I'm sorry, Victoria.
Victoria's not with us, but you know what? She needs to come back and do a show with us.
That's right.
Yes, Victoria.
Theodora, thank you for this opportunity. I like I said, I've been admiring your growth ever since you got in with the class, with Ken Wall's class there, and you have grown. You were so shy when we first started, and now look at you, you're just bold and out there, and that's the way you do life.
I was blushing if somebody would talk to me.
Yeah. We used to do that deliberately just to get you all riled up. Let's talk to Theodora. And then, of course, Ken, his style saying your name.
The secrets that you're telling and giving away are going to get back to you. The secrets. But
I met Ken through Glenn Morshower, who I was a friend with for years, and he was on my show at ABC. And everything interlocks. It's not what you know, it's not who you know, it's who knows that you know what you know. Okay. Yes. So I know that you know this stuff, and I need that to help me, and up the ladder you go.
It's amazing. It's so amazing. And life is about people in our life, and about I like to give my life in helping others. And I'm so glad that I got to chat with you.
Oh,
you're slowly revealing more of your beautiful soul. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's like I said, it's been a pleasure.
It was my honor to have you. I'm just so grateful and thankful for having you. And so I want to say thank you to our audience for being here with us. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for bringing Jay into your home state so he can officiate the next marriage and play
I'm
music.
available around the nation. Let's do it.
let's get Jay to go travel. What states have you not been into yet?
Montana, Washington. I don't know. There's been a lot. I've been in a lot of states. I don't know. It'd take a long time to figure them all out, because I used to fly when I was at ABC. I used to fly into each market and do presentations there, and we do a party and then back to work in Dallas again. But a lot of them.
Good. We're gonna get you back on road again so that you can entertain and have fun and play music and enjoy life. Absolutely. It's been a pleasure having you. It's been an honor. I truly appreciate your time and the share of your story, and not only that, but really making the effort of showing us the victorious attitude of going over technology issues.
Yes.
We started in a choppy situation and moving through. Thank you.
Well, when I was young and the computers were introduced, they were one computer took up an entire building, and then this came around. It's kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing. I just recently figured out how to use a computer. That's a file cabinet. I never thought of it that way. So yeah, I'm learning.
We all are.
Well, thank you so much, Theodora. I appreciate you so much, and thank you everybody for watching. It's awfully kind of you to do that. So.
Stay with me for 1 second,
okay.
And I will see you in a minute. You guys, thank you for sharing and for being here with us, and we'll see you next time.